The finalized content for Season 3 has just been revealed, along with Title Update 20 and Project Resolve. We've had quite a bit of exposure to this over the last month, and there's a few surprising nuggets that are actually pretty exciting. Let's find out why.
Entering Dog Zone.
We're getting a new twist on the manhunt, something we haven't experienced before. So typically we're usually after a particular target. We're either eliminating them, and recently we've been rescuing them. But now it looks like we're not after specific targets at all. Instead, the lore is gonna focus on Kelso. And the question is Kelso a hunter? We're gonna be retracing Kelso's steps, looking for her. So this is not a normal manhunt formula. Instead, we're gonna be tracking locations instead of people. And I think that's pretty cool. This is how they describe it.
What is going on with Kelso? You may remember from season 11, we had the conclusion of season 11 with the attack on the White House, and then at the end of that, Kelso said she was going to go to New York to check on Heaven and make sure that this settlement was secured. And well, we haven't really, talked about it or emphasized that, but she hasn't come back since. She has been spending quite some time in New York, like during season 1 and season 2, as we were rescuing civilians. She was all the time in New York. Manny mentioned that a couple of times. So now it's time to actually go and see what has she been up to, and now she's gone missing. So yeah, it's just another twist on the manhunt formula. So, we used to have enemy targets. Then in the past couple of seasons we had civilians to rescue, and this time it's going to be not direct targets, but it's going to be about investigation and retracing the steps of Kelso and finding out and catching up to her and understand what's happening here. Every target now is actually a location.
So this is a new art style for the season trailer. Check it out.
I trust Kelso. I don't believe she could be a hunter. But trust has to be earned. When we put it in the wrong people. Just look at what's happened to this country. Agents were trained to blend in, to hide in plain sight. How can we know their true mission? We can't survive without trust. I trust Kelso. But I've been wrong before.
As far as what we're getting new related to the season itself. So there's gonna be 2 apparel events. I think we're used to this by now. It consists of 1 new apparel event and 1 rerun for new players. So the new apparel event is called Veiled Tactics. It's gonna have 4 outfits with a rewarded outfit. And that's gonna start on February 20th. And then the rerun is from year 2, season 3. And then of course we're getting new gear in the same formula that we're accustomed to. So we're gonna get a new gear set called Aegis. We're getting exotic gloves, the Mosquito exotic pistol, and the Vindictive exotic rifle. You're gonna have to play the Descent game mode, and you'll be able to earn NSA tech credits to use at the NSA vendor to purchase that rifle. There's gonna be a season pass like we always have. It's gonna cost 1,000 premium credits, and that's going to give you access to the bottom part of the rewards track. The top part of the rewards track will be free for all players. And remember, you have to be level 40 and have completed Warlords of New York and back in DC in order to take advantage of the season pass. They did reveal the bonus outfit as well as the achievable mask bonus, and I thought that mask is really cool looking. I'm actually more excited about that than the exotics this season. There's also going to be a new cosmetic bundle. See, they've been doing more cosmetic bundles lately, and this one actually sounds pretty cool. So the theme is Warlords of New York outfits. So basically Keener's crew, you're going to be able to purchase those outfits. like Vivian Conley and Xavier and Theo and everybody. So those, we didn't get a visual on those, so we were just told, and we don't know exactly when they're gonna drop. Will they be available on day one? Will they come later in the season? We don't know yet. The official launch date is February 6th. The servers are gonna go down at 12:30 in the morning Pacific time, and they'll be down for approximately 5 hours. So they didn't go through each detail on Project Resolve. It's quite an extensive project, so they really just covered the broad strokes. Basically the stuff we saw in the developer notes that we've already covered. So there's a lot of stability improvements. We see they reversed the gear lock for PvE. You're gonna see gear lock in Conflict, and they also took out SHD and expertise bonus from Conflict, but you'll see that in the DZ. The expertise cost is lowered. That was one thing that we're all excited about. And they introduced the tinkering system, which is basically a rework of the recalibration and optimization station. But overall, I like the way Yannick put it. Listen to what he has to say here, and also check out these visuals.
We want to try to reduce the amount of times you have to go back to the base of operation and really have these two. There's almost two division games, you know. There's the game where you're in the action and you're playing the shooter game, and then there's the inventory management game that is just equally as long, if not longer, where you're in the base of operations, going through your loot and like looking at, okay, what can I optimize, what can I recalibrate, what do I keep, what do I not keep, and I mean, not all of that is solved. But one big aspect of that was the recalibration and the optimization. And we felt that this is something that maybe belonged a bit more in the action part. And the idea is just, it's, you know, if you're dropping a piece of loot during a mission or while playing anything, that is almost an upgrade. All you would need is to optimize it or to recalibrate it, and it would be an upgrade. Why not be able to do that directly and then go back into the action with your upgraded loot? Why have you wait until the next time you're going to back to the base of operation?
We're going to be experiencing newly updated global events this season, finally. And there's a lot of little nuances here, but to put it in a nutshell, it's basically more buff, less punishment. And it seems they're all getting updates except for the Golden Bullet. So as far as Descent, there's a new talent pool rotation. They've shortened the rotation, so that's gonna be every 3 days. You'll see 35 talents and 6 exotic talents in each pool. And you can now face the Nemesis in as little as 4 loops or a maximum of 9 loops. You'll also be able to spend that NSA tech at the NSA store, as I mentioned earlier, and there'll be 4 new outfits in Descent you can buy, as well as reconstructed and exotic caches. I understand those are gonna be expensive, but we didn't see the price yet. And this is also gonna be the route to acquire that new vindictive exotic rifle. Lots of things on the quality of life side coming from Project Resolve. Skill mods will auto update. You're gonna see a stash item count display. And really exciting here, there's gonna be a new vendor added in Title Update 20.1. So not on launch tomorrow, but some weeks later. Anyways, this is a textiles vendor for exotics and more good stuff. It's sort of gonna work like the gun runner, where you'll have to search him out and you'll be able to use your textiles that are basically a huge stockpile that you don't get to spend on anything. Anyways, you're now gonna have a use for that. There will be a weekly cap to the purchases, but another way of getting exotics. Here's a little bit of good news and bad news. So they are wiping many of the leaderboards. Some of those that were mentioned were Keeley College, raids, and strongholds. They want to clean them up because a lot of exploitation was used to get on those leaderboards, but also they want them to be more current and relevant to the current player base as well. And one of the issues that we've discussed in our community is the potential power creep from all of the changes coming from Project Resolve, because there's an overall rebalancing of weapon damage and a lot of attributes that will basically come out to more damage, more power for us. Yannick made a note about it, and this is what he said.
I know that there's a conversation about, us, about the power creep and about players becoming more powerful and therefore the lack of challenging content. And I just want you to know that this is something we're conscious of, and we have some ideas. But yeah, more on that in the future.
So the full patch notes for Project Resolve will be released soon today, and they're going to be quite extensive. They said something like 35 pages of patch notes. That's crazy. We're going to have to cover those separately in a different video. What do you think about the new Manhunt style? Was that a surprise to you, or did you see that coming? And how about that new vendor? Love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for hanging out with me today. My name is TuxedoBandido, and this was another episode of The Division 2. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss out on the fantastic experiences waiting for you in The Division 2. And if you like builds like this, check out the recommended build video I have here for you. If you have anything you want to see covered, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make everything possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be without you.
Follow me.
I get it.